Happy Saturday, guys. Today I want to talk about something that is a little bit different. I usually talk about goals and motivation and things like that, and I'm gonna right now talk about things that are happening in the economy. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm gonna be giving any financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I'm going to say all those things that protect me. But I want to get this out right at the beginning because it's very important for the algorithms. AI, those two letters, AI, artificial intelligence, AI, is making an astronomical impact on tech stocks right now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I had a few clients that have recently made a lot of money on contracts and stuff that they had, call option contracts that they had for NVIDIA, and some of them with the was it yesterday's? No, it was Thursday's Marvel Technologies, MRVL, I think, I don't remember, but NVIDIA and Marvel both posted their earnings reports, and in their guidance for the coming year or quarters or whatever, I think NVIDIA's was for the next quarter, estimated $11 billion in revenue, which I believe is $3 billion more than they ever have had before in the history of NVIDIA per quarter. And they're tying that towards the development of AI and being kind of in the forefront of the technology and the chip making environment for that. I can definitely understand how that would be. Demand for these things and demand for the software and the hardware to run the software is definitely going to be very important. I'm kind of like, what I'm looking at myself is that AI is going to trickle. Right now it's hitting the development of it, right? And as it gets developed and as it gets more abundant, in a sense, it's going to be trickling down into other industries that can benefit from it. Now, of course, the manufacturers and the suppliers, this is creating huge revenue, huge growth, and sales for these companies, which is very good for their stock as well. But also on the other side of the people receiving this technology, the companies receiving this technology, the AI is probably going to be very beneficial for them to cut costs, which increases their profit margins, which is also very beneficial for them. So it's very important. It's kind of a wave of new technology that's going to be coming in and having, I would say, some pretty positive impacts on businesses worldwide. And you know, I'm not going to throw out any specifics because, again, this is not financial advice, but I just wanted to talk about this today. It's going to be a very quick video. It's not my normal one, but this is definitely happening right now. We are entering a new temporary age of technology with the AI development. You know, we watch these things happen all the time. They're bubbles. They will blow up and then they will pop. It is just the way it is. So obviously watch them, be careful, because eventually it will pop. All bubbles pop when it comes to stocks or technology or any of that stuff. We watched it happen with crypto. We watched it happen with NFTs. We watch it happen with the EV industry, which I believe might be coming into another bubble here very, very soon. I would not actually be surprised to see like things like Tesla moving towards, and if not surpassing, all-time highs. Again, it is not financial advice. I'm not telling anybody to go out and buy anything, but this technology, this bubble, is gonna be massive because cutting costs, increasing revenue, and especially with things like the EV industry, the AI technology, if it is implemented with, you know, things like self-driving and all the things like that, that market share. I was listening to Kathy Wood actually having an interview and explaining her thoughts on the robo-taxi industry, which, you know, right now for some people might sound like, okay, this is like Back to the Future, but it's absolutely real. You know, with the self-driving technology, it is very, very possible to have a fleet of self-driving vehicles that can safely, quickly, and efficiently get a person from one location to the other when they call for a taxi without having to have a driver. And the profit margins on that are going to be insane. And the first person, the first group to get into that is kind of a first come first serve, because they are going to have control over that industry. And she was talking specifically about the self-driving technologies that Tesla has compared to pretty much any other auto EV maker or company or whatever. They have a huge technological and data advantage over everybody. So if that is to come, it's probably his environment. It belongs to him. And I believe, I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how big the market cap is for that, if it's a couple $1 trillion or if it's a couple $100 trillion, I don't know. Transportation's huge, and if you could do it in passenger vehicles like that can drive themselves, and the person, all they have to do is call it, get in, swipe their card, and go, you know, without having to call a driver, without having to pay a driver, you know, and that type of stuff. That industry is going to be huge. There's a lot of people that need to get places very fast, and this is important with the development of AI the way it's going. And yes, we are driving in circles. With the way the development of AI is going, I would not be surprised to see AI impact the development of self-driving, because AI can process data way faster than any human could ever even dream of, and in mass quantities. And if they have millions of cars out there collecting traffic data for them, as they do already, and they implemented, AI technologies, which I do believe they are already doing in a way, but as the technology increases, the processing of that data is going to increase, and it's going to become more efficient. It's going to become safer at an accelerated pace. I do believe they're going to have probably a good 80 to 85% of that market share in that industry. If we go down that route, it's just something. All I'm doing right now is just saying it's a very, 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 very potentially fruitful and abundant opportunity for anybody to be a part of. If you have ideas, or if you have like a service or something, if you're a business owner, or if you're an entrepreneur, if you like developing technology, if you like coding things, or whatever it is, if you can find ways to implement AI into what you do, and even if it's not something you do, if you're not doing anything that would benefit from it, investing in that. I'm not saying that you should go and buy shares of technology stocks right now. That is not what I'm saying, because there is still a lot going on with the economy. We're hitting a debt ceiling. They're having negotiations on how to pay our bills. As a country, there's a lot going on that will very, very likely slow the progress of this development. The technology will be developing in the background, but when you have an economy falling apart, it does not matter how good the bubble is. It'll still be dampered. It'll still be hindered. If not, you could be having an inflationary bubble of this technology that looks like it's on a downward trajectory because of how strong the downward trajectory of the market is. You know what I mean? It's a very, very volatile place right now. But definitely, I will say it is a good time to watch if it is something that you are not familiar with. If it's not something that you pay attention to, you know, stocks, technology, things like that, expose yourself to it a little bit. Find some resources, find some mentors, people to watch, people to listen to on YouTube, podcasts, read books. If you got friends that are interested in it, ask them some questions. Don't expect any of these people to tell you what to do, and also don't expect yourself to understand all of it as soon as you start paying attention to it. What will likely probably happen for those people is you expose yourself to it, it won't make sense, but you continue to expose yourself to it, and as time progresses, it starts to make sense. It's very important to be aware of these trends, these things happening in the economy, in the market, in technology, because if you're blindfolded, you'll never be able to put yourself in the flow. You know what I mean? So I'm just making this video to say there's these things going on right now in technology. I can't guarantee what it's gonna do, but what I'm gonna do is watch. I am very, very focused on tech right now, the triple Qs. I'm very focused on the development of this AI technology, and I am trying on a daily basis to kind of brainstorm or just have in the back of my head places that this technology could impact. And that's just the name of the game, is just trying to have skin in the game early. And that's just the way it goes. Like, people who adopted crypto early made billions. People who adopted trying to think, the NFTs, even though the NFTs was, I don't know, I'm just gonna say, in my personal opinion, I believe crypto and NFT stuff scam. That's my opinion, but you know, to each their own. I missed out on that one because of my mindset, and if it's not, then I'm wrong, and I'm okay being wrong. I don't understand it, so I'm not getting into that stuff because I just don't understand it, and personally I'm a little bit fearful of it. That being said, early adopters are always the ones that come out on top. And the only way you can be an early adopter of any trend, and I will also add on to this with real estate stuff because it's important. I will talk about that in a second. Early adopters of this AI, of this technology, if you can brainstorm some ideas of where it might be affected, if not guaranteed, if things pan out, and there's, like, say for example, there's not legislation that like shuts it down and things like that, because there's a lot of possibilities that could happen. But if you can get yourself in the right place at the right time, it could be life-changing. So it is important. And even if you're not interested or in a place where you can do that now, it is very good training to be able to spot and recognize these patterns and these trends. And if you can continue to train yourself to do that, you can continue to spot the new ones that are upcoming, you know. And as long as you can get even just a little skin in the game early on a lot of these trends and things coming up, I mean, it's simple. Like, really think about it. It could be as simple as those, what was that popular toy back a couple years ago, those fidget spinners that absolutely blew up, and every kid in the entire country wanted a fidget spinner. I mean, if you were an early adopter of that trend, and you were, say, had a drop shipping store, and you were selling all sorts of different patterns of fidget spinners on your store, you made millions over a plastic toy that spins. It's just some bearings that spin around, and that's all it is. So training yourself to be aware of trends, of things going on in the market, in the economy, is very important regardless of what you're doing. So I'm gonna wrap this up by talking about you know, derailing myself, talking about come on people, I guess he did, yeah, whatever. Derailing myself here. The real estate market, for some reason this time around, we have really high interest rates right now, and it's been very interesting because my expectations was that as the interest rates increase, that the values, the price, the value, the cash value of the house would decrease, because they are typically inverse relationships. Because as interest rates get more expensive, loans get more expensive, less people can afford them, demand goes down, supply goes up. Having a high supply, low demand causes the prices to go down because nobody wants to buy them and people want to sell them. You know, just simple supply and demand, inverse relationships between the cash value of a house and the interest rates of the mortgage. Now, we haven't really seen too much of the house prices going down. Personally, I believe this is because of the inflation problem that we're dealing with, because that is a very prime example of how inflation works. I believe we're actually in stagflation. That's my opinion. It's a lot slower. It's a lot more destructive. If you guys don't know what that is, I would suggest maybe looking into it, so you can kind of get an idea of what might be going on in our economy right now, and you can be prepared. Okay, so that being said, because of the environment that we have in real estate at this moment, if you guys can still hear me, I apologize if it's really windy. I would not be surprised, again, this is not financial advice, but this is just my opinion. I would not be surprised that it continues the way it is, and as soon as there is any single hint, just the slightest, like one word in some Fed meeting on the news about the possibility, just the possibility, not even fact, just the possibility of halting interest rate hikes on the federal side and potentially lowering federal interest rates again, I sincerely believe there is going to be an absolute stampede of real estate buyers. I mean an absolute stampede, because people who invest in these things, they understand that interest rates are liquid. You can lock yourself into the price of a house. You buy it at 8% for 500 grand, and you lock yourself into that 500 grand loan at 8%, and if you know that interest rates are gonna go down, or even have a chance of going down, you're gonna lock in that 8%, that 500 grand, and you're gonna hold on to it, and you're gonna rent it out, or you're gonna live in it, or you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do with it, because you know interest rates are going down. As the interest rates go down, more people are going to be able to buy, because it becomes cheaper to buy. The prices of the houses are going to go up. You paid 500 grand, it's now worth 600 grand. Interest rate, you locked in at 8% on that loan, it's now 5%, but you don't owe 600 grand, you owe 500. So you refinance the 500 at 5%. Your house gets cheaper, it's worth more, you pay less. That's a very simple concept with real estate, getting into things like that, things that appreciate in value, and if you understand the environment, that is a very, in my opinion, a very possible outcome, because people are going to know. Well, I personally believe, and I've talked to, you know, some CCIMs and some people who have been in the field, especially in commercial too, there's a lot of people that also share the opinion that hold on a second. There's a lot of people that also share the opinion that the reason prices have not gone down on houses is due to inflation. So, yeah, I don't know. That being said, don't know what's gonna happen. Again, none of it is telling you what to do. None of it is financial advice. All I'm saying is what I am focused on watching, and I'm only watching it because I want to be able to spot the trend and be an early adopter of it. And I just wanted to share this with you guys as I make multiple circles around this town here on my way to the gym, because somebody might watch this and be like, wait a minute, I should pay attention. And maybe just that very thought of paying attention to these trends and these things going on is what you need to completely turn your life around. That's all I'm looking for. If I can help one person, then I'm happy. So again, none of it's financial advice, not a financial advisor. I just see that there is a lot of hype around AI, and then there's a lot of things going on in the economy that could be bringing us to probably one of the best the best opportunities for people who are just trying to get their foot in the door in this world, in this game of life. It is probably one of the best opportunities, and the people who are already in it are going to be milking it because they know how it works. And if you're not in it, don't miss opportunities to change your life, because things like this don't come around very often. There will always be trends, and as time progresses, trends get faster because we are becoming more and more like goldfish as the species, and our attention spans are getting a lot shorter. So we get really excited over little things and then we lose interest in them entirely because something else is shinier, and that's just the way humanity is at this moment. Trends will always go around, but right now we have this trend with AI coming up, and we also have probably one of the best economical financial opportunities for new adopters of investing and things like that. You just don't want to miss out on that. That wouldn't be good. Again, I'm not telling anybody to go and buy anything. I'm not telling anybody to go invest in anything specific. I'm just saying, if you're not already paying attention to what's going on in the economy, it might be a good idea to just start exposing yourself to it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this kind of sparked some interest and maybe motivated people to make some life-changing decisions. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace. Bye.